was a student that was able to stay with you in school and extracurricular activities from sunup to sundown, but I didn't have trouble juggling classwork and activities, but I had heard that college courses would be more strenuous. So I had expectations to be just as involved in college as I was in high school, but when I got here, I decided to take it easy and not stress myself out, because in the back of my mind, I was really worried about doing badly in my classes. I believed I could take time with friends and use extra time to study with these harder college courses. I started off really fine. I had a few friends in a study group from class, and I used my free time to study and stay rested, and I was sure that I had made the right decision. But then fast forward a couple months to December, I realized that most of my friends weren't as available when the semester was coming to a close. I began to feel very alone. I started sleeping a lot more instead of studying. I was avoiding people, also feeling very insecure, and eventually I realized that I needed to change. Over the Christmas break, I was constantly checking Texas A&M's organization search and Facebook, just seeing if I could find something or anything that I would really enjoy being a part of. I came back to school after the break with a little luck in finding an organization to join. The week after school started in the spring, I walked by the Memorial Student Center, and it was filled with organizations. I didn't realize what was going on, but I decided to check it out. It was the MSC Open House, which occurs every first Sunday after school starts, and almost 800 organizations were represented in the Memorial Student Center. It was split up between social, leadership, and service organizations. I found so many organizations that I would have never thought I'd be interested in. Not being able to decide on which one to be in, I decided to join 5. It was a rush. I enjoyed every minute of being in 5 organizations, but then life started. I realized I was coming home from class, eating, then going to a different meeting every night, sometimes more than one in the same night. On top of that, I also had to do homework, projects, quizzes, and also study for exams. I realized that even though I had a lot of new friends and I loved being in so many organizations, that it was impossible for me to keep going this way throughout the whole semester. After MSC Open House, I had told my parents about how many organizations I was in, and they expressed how proud they were. So it kind of hurt my pride when I had to break down from being overwhelmed, and I had to call them for advice. So what advice would you give your student?
Get over it.
Sorry for saying.
Get over it.
Does anyone else have any advice?
I would just tell my student that they need to put their priorities in their classes, and whatever time they have spare left over that they feel they could contribute to maybe 1 or 2 of the organizations, I would start with those that are most important in their life.
Thank you all for your advice. My parents told me that I had to manage my time and make sure that I wasn't spreading myself out too thin. Then they said that I have to remember why I went to college and to come and get an education. My mom then took the phone off speaker and told me that I had to do what I love. She said, look at all the organizations that you're in, weigh them all out by what you mean to, and what they mean to you, and how they can benefit you in the long run, and which ones you just can't live without being in. She then said after that to pick just 1 or 2, not necessarily ones that had to apply directly to my major, but more ones that I loved to do the most. I thanked her for her help and being the wonderful mom that she is. Before she hung up, she told me, we will always be proud of you no matter what. Don't worry about it. I know you will make the right decision. Just follow your heart. I thank my parents for not just jumping on me and giving me a hard time, but being really supportive and allowing me to make the final decision for myself. This experience has really helped me to grow as an individual.